Imagine it's a nice winter evening. You're out with your family for a nice picnic. There's food laid out. You're having a jolly old time. Life couldn't be better. Then, out of nowhere, this monstrosity of a creature straight up from your scariest nightmares shows up. And by the time you can blink your eyes, everyone you've ever known is dead. This is exactly what happened on November 18th when the Gun Devil, the most feared devil in the Chainsaw Man universe, first made an appearance. The Gun Devil is the main antagonist for the majority of Chainsaw Man Part 1, and for good reason. Bro is a menace. I mean, it looks like America's military-industrial complex wet dream, if you know what I mean.
This is America.
But what earned the Gun Devil the title of the most feared villain in the Chainsaw Man universe is that it is a mindless creature of chaos. It is absolutely ruthless and destroys anything and anyone in its way. Even women and children aren't spared. While I hope such a monster doesn't exist in the real world, in the bleak and dystopian Chainsaw Man universe, devils like the Gun Devil are everywhere. These creatures are literally Satan's spawn, but they are born out of human fear. And in the Chainsaw Man verse, the one thing that fuels any devil's power is the fear in the minds of a human. So, just before the Gun Devil made its first appearance on Earth, the fear of guns was at an all-time high, because firearm-related crime was increasing by the day as more people were using guns to cause violence. Moreover, during that period, a major terrorist attack involving guns happened in the US, and on that very day, the Gun Devil hit Earth. November 18th remains a black day for humans in Chainsaw Man. The world saw destruction and death at an insane level, which was unfathomable. The Gun Devil hit Japan for 26 seconds and left a death trail of 57,912 people. America 124 seconds with 548,012 people killed. China 37 seconds with 316,932 people dead. India 15 seconds, 29,950 gone in a blink of an eye. So essentially, in the span of just 5 minutes, 1.2 million people died at the hands, or should I say, barrels of the Gun Devil.
What the fuck?
Yep, that's right. This is perhaps the highest kill count of any devil in the series. And after this massacre, this dude simply dipped and was never seen again for the next 13 years. After this horrific day, all the world governments implemented strict anti-gun laws and tried to maintain the fear of guns at a minimum. Despite their efforts, humanity still lived in the constant fear of the Gun Devil because it was so lethal and strong, which made it necessary to capture and kill it. Otherwise, it could very well end the entire human race. But what's insane is that when the Gun Devil was wreaking havoc on Earth, it was moving at such a high speed that parts of its body burned off and fell in different parts of the world, as Makima states in chapter 13. And as if things couldn't get any worse, it turns out these parts of the Gun Devil have powers of their own. More specifically, if a devil of any kind eats a part of the Gun Devil, its strength increases. Furthermore, when the parts are in close proximity to one another, they combine and start moving in the direction of the Gun Devil. Following the Gun Devil's disappearance, the entire world scrambled in search for these burned parts because that was the only way to find the Gun Devil. There's no doubt that Japan followed suit, and we learned that Makima created the Public Safety Special Division 4 as a risky effort to capture and kill the Gun Devil. It was about time to deal with this icon of terror once and for all. After a long and traumatic series series of events involving a trip to hell and being attacked by the Darkness Devil and almost getting killed, Denji and Co are rescued by Makima with unexpected help from Quan Ji. It is at this point that we see Aki showing his first signs of weakness. He realizes that he cares deeply for power and Denji and doesn't want them to die fighting the Gun Devil. Up until that point, Aki's sole purpose in life was to kill the Gun Devil. Relationships, bonds, people, they were all meaningless to him. But after being forced to babysit his 2 adopted children, he had grown attached to them and cared for their safety. He asks Makima if Special Division 4 could withdraw from the fight against the Gun Devil. She agrees, but declares that Denji and Power will be involved in the fight regardless of Aki's participation. With his plan backfiring, Aki too decides to stay in the public safety department. So with the team back in action, there's only one thing left to do: kill the Gun Devil and bring peace back to the world. Sounds pretty straightforward, right?
Wrong.
In chapter 73 of Chainsaw Man, Fujimoto throws a huge curveball at us with what could arguably be the second most unexpected twist in this series. Makima reveals that the Gun Devil has already been captured and confined. I can imagine the look on your face if you're learning about this right now. Don't worry, I was the same. I mean, what the right? All that trauma and suffering for nothing? What is the point of the Special 4th Division now? Why does the world still live in the fear of the Gun Devil if it has already been caught? Let me explain. And this is why it's so important to join our community and hit the notification bell, ladies and gentlemen. Remember when the Gun Devil hit the world for 5 minutes, caused a shit ton of death and disappeared into thin air? Well, it didn't just disappear. The world powers were able to defeat and capture the Gun Devil at that time. In reality, all of them were on a scavenger hunt to gather and safeguard as many pieces of the Gun Devil as they could, so that they could monopolize control over such a fearsome devil. And thus, countries like America, Russia and China obtained 20%, 28% and 11% of the Gun Devil's parts, making them extreme geopolitical threats. I mean, are we even surprised at this point? So if the Gun Devil was captured, how are the guns still being manufactured and used? Who is responsible for the death of Himeno and all the others? Well, the answer is very simple and rooted in reality. All the guns currently in circulation are being peddled secretly by the world governments. On the surface, they maintain the fast of strict anti-gun laws, but on the down low, they want the fear of guns to increase. Yes, that's exactly what the world governments want. If the Gun Devil becomes more powerful, it would mean that the countries with majority possession of its body will be able to exploit its power to become stronger and gain a bargaining chip against other countries. In my opinion, if the Chainsaw Man world was real, there is no doubt in my mind that the superpowers of the world will pull some bullshit like this. I mean, it's exactly like the Cold War. Such a sad and selfish world we live in, ladies and gentlemen.
You can't keep getting away with it!
But I digress. So with all of these schemes boiling, we had surely not seen the last of the Gun Devil, which means that any efforts to capture the devil would mean stealing it from another country, resulting in a world war.
I'm coming after you.
After learning all of this, the gang is surprised, but Aki is especially disturbed. He realized that the Gun Devil can never be killed and it will forever be used by different groups as a means to fulfill their goals. This understandably breaks him. He feels hopeless because through one simple answer, all his dreams of revenge against the Gun Devil had been squashed. He realized that his whole life and existence was just to be used as a pawn, a means to an end. He could never really avenged the brutal death of his family. That night, Aki summons the future devil, with whom he had a contract. The devil reveals to Aki a horrible yet inevitable truth. It declares that Denji is going to ruthlessly kill both Power and Aki, and after that, the gun devil will reappear again. Someone get a hold of my man Fujimoto, man. Dude can't stop dropping bomb after bomb on us. At least let us breathe a little, like god damn.
I am in pain.
After learning of his unavoidable death, Aki visits Angel in the hospital and tells him about his dark future. Angel offers his help because he is haunted by the people he has killed and wants to do anything and everything possible to help Aki stay alive. He suggests they go to Makima since she alone might know what to do. Makima is at the beach on the day prior to the main operation to kill the gun devil. On their way there, Angel asks Aki why he doesn't run away, because he could just leave the public safety division and start a new life, escaping his cruel fate. Aki scoffs at this and states that his entire life is here and he can't just abandon everyone. Denji, Power, and even Makima are all very important to him and he can't let them go so easily. Angel is surprised by the mention of Makima and asks Aki why he fell for her in the first place. Aki ponders over this for a second. Why did he fall for her exactly? But even this introspection could not bring up a single answer to his question and is cut short as the duo meets Makima at the beach. Makima tells them that she was waiting for someone, and in one final sweep of desperation, Aki breaks down as he reveals his fate and his imminent death to her. Since he had very little time left, he wanted to make sure that Denji and Power would survive the fight against the gun devil and, you know, live a bright future because he loves them. So sad.
I am in severe pain.
Like, bro, how can you not fall in love with the good guy Aki? And who the is cutting onions here, man?
Emotional, damn it!
Aki tells Makima that he was ready to make any contract with any devil to ensure his objective was completed. Now, throughout the series, Makima has made a lot of revelations that none of us saw coming and left us all rethinking our entire life. However, what she tells Aki next hit me like a bullet fired by the gun devil himself. What I basically mean is that I didn't see that one coming. Makima looks Aki dead in the eye and asks him to make a contract with her. Huh? Excuse me, Miss Makima? But what the fuck?
This is bullshit.
Aki is as confused as the rest of us. The next panel focuses in on Makima's eyes. The rings inside of her eye are hypnotic and inviting as she has a diabolical aura about herself whilst ordering Aki to surrender himself to her. The scene changes and we are transported into the past, into Angel's long lost memories. He remembers his past life when he used to live in a little town by the sea. He recalls being surrounded by people who genuinely cared for him, despite him being a devil. He is painfully reminded of his first love, the only person to ever love him back. All that is snatched away from him one day when Makima shows up in his town. Angel is seen sitting on the beach when Makima approaches him and greets him. She looks intrigued by Angel and asks him to show her his power. Angel denies it, knowing that his power can only bring about death and despair. However, once again, Makima has the same hypnotic look on her face and she orders Angel to show her his power, and this time he is unable to defy her. He is knocked into a trance-like state and when he wakes up, it's nighttime. He looks around as a look of horror and dread envelops his face. Both of them are surrounded by the heap of dead bodies and the smell of carnage engulfs the air as everyone Angel had ever loved or cared for was lying dead on his feet. It's clear as day by now that Makima, being the control devil, had manipulated Angel into using his power to kill everyone in the town. This irreparably scars Angel, who is left with the guilt and trauma of murdering the people that had accepted his identity and loved him unconditionally. And well, I don't need to say it to you, but Makima was manipulating Aki in the current time. With no hesitation, Aki agrees to make a contract with Makima, even as Angel tries to attack her, in a last-ditch effort to protect Aki. Makima required only one word to knock out Angel and ordered him to surrender himself to her, knocking him into the same trance. Makima has a hauntingly expressionless face as she apologizes to Aki and Angel, revealing that the operation to take out the gun devil was a futile bluff. What? Bitch. The mission had already been leaked and exposed by the spies that ran rampant in Japan. In the end, the only possible outcome is going to be the one with the maximum destruction.
So wait, what is going on? Is Makima not one of the good guys? How did she manage to manipulate and use both Aki and Angel? If she asked Aki to make a contract with her, then she must be a devil, right? Surely this is one of Fujimoto's little tricks. I mean, Makima can't possibly be evil, right? Oh, come on! I already bought this and they don't do returns.
You done fucked up now!
Anyway, the scene then changes and we see the President of the United States speaking on the phone, discussing the need to kill Makima as soon as possible. All the other countries had already accepted their fate at the hands of Makima, but there was still hope left for the US. Okay, hope might not be the right word here. It was more desperation. He says, fearing and strengthening Makima is nothing less than the history of humanity. Meaning Makima had been terrorizing the human race for quite a while now. If she is not eliminated soon, then inevitable doom and destruction would ensue. In a surprising turn of events, we learn that the person on the other side of the phone was none other than the gun devil itself. The president then says he knows Makima is the controlled devil and promises the gun devil 1 year off the lifespan of every American in exchange for killing her. Yes, that's right. Makima fans, it is time to pack it up. She is not the sweet protector of humanity that you thought she was. It's quite the opposite, actually. She is the biggest threat to humanity of all time, and the fear of her ran so deep that the world has to enlist the help of the gun devil. Yes, the same devil who killed millions in minutes in an attempt to take her out. Makima, being the control devil, had the ability to control and manipulate the mind and body of any human or devil. She was evil incarnate, terrorizing the world since the dawn of humanity. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the time had come for the final act of the gun devil. The reappearance of this nightmare had the perfect stage set. The gun devil appeared on Earth for the second time on September the 12th, 1997, 13 years after it had last been seen. Immediately, we see the heavy price humanity had to pay in order to try and kill Makima. Thousands are killed within seconds of its appearance. Bullet after bullet drills into the head and bodies of innocent bystanders as the devil makes its way towards Makima. The gun devil stops for exactly 4 seconds after making its initial appearance before locking its weapons onto Makima. A split second later, Makima is shot in the head, becoming her 29th recorded death. However, she recovers immediately, and a revolting halo formed out of her own brain matter appears over her head with a sinister smile spreading on her face. The bodies of Prince, Sawatari, Aki, Angel, Kurose, and Tendo are depicted as connected to Makima as she stands. Summoning the combined strength of all of their devil contracts, a sudden hole appears in the sky above the gun devil and a swarm of beings descend. On the other side, Denji and Power are awoken by the doorbell ringing. Denji gets up to open the door when suddenly Pochita's words flash in front of him. Don't open it. The phone suddenly starts ringing as Makima calls Denji about the reappearance of the gun devil. She reveals they were unable to defeat the devil and it had escaped after possessing a dead body, becoming a fiend. And it was none other than the freaking gun fiend himself ringing the doorbell. Makima advises Denji to not think about anything whilst fighting it before hanging up. Denji and Power are in disbelief, just like the rest of us. There's no way the gun devil escaped, right? Why would it be ringing the doorbell? Is Makima secretly a YouTube prankster? Also, where the hell is Aki during this crucial point?
But when the world needed him most, he vanished.
Denji asks Power to leave from the balcony, just in case the gun fiend really is at the door. Hoping against hope, Denji opens it. Surprise, surprise, it's Aki. Well, not quite. It was Aki's body, now possessed by the gun devil. Aki had become the gun fiend.
No! God, please, no! No!
Curse you, Fujimoto, alright? Not Aki, okay? Anybody but Aki! Listen, I think we all knew this was coming, but deep down we really didn't want to admit it, did we? Aki had now become one with the gun devil. After fighting his entire life to take his revenge on the gun devil, this was his inevitable fate. The irony is haunting, and the poor fella had just lost everything because of the gun devil. His parents and his little brother had been killed during its first onslaught. He had lost countless partners and friends at the hands of the devil. He had sworn revenge against it, but instead, he had become a puppet for it.
Now you have become the very thing you swore to destroy.
This is especially heartbreaking when you think about what led to all this. The entire operation to kill the gun devil was just a bluff, just a part of Makima's plan. Poor Aki had suffered and endured so much in an attempt to fulfill a mission that was impossible to begin with. His entire life had been a lie. The saddest part about all this is that Aki is one of many. World governments get so caught up in the desire for power and money that they often forget the cost of victory. Millions of soldiers just like Aki lose their lives fighting for soulless people who treat human life as an expendable resource. I mean, just look at the current Cold War going on in 2022 as an example of this. It has led to so much death and destruction that innocent people have had to pay for the price of the power-hungry government.
This is America.
But back to the story, Aki is transported back to the snowball fight scene where he had initially lost his brother right in front of him. However, this time, instead of his brother, Denji is the one playing with him. Aki throws a snowball at Denji playfully. However, Aki's snowballs are the equivalent to enormously powerful gunshots in reality. Aki, aka the gun fiend, casually kills several bystanders under the pretext of throwing snowballs. Denji tries to protect Power and some other civilians, begging Aki to stop and return to normal. Aki simply interprets this as Denji throwing snowballs back at him. He exclaims that life has finally become fun. He doesn't have a care in the world now and he can enjoy his snowball fight to the fullest. However,
Reality is often disappointing.
the gun fiend goes on a rampage, but Denji is unwilling to hurt it because he thinks Aki can still be saved. But he reaches breaking point when Aki blasts him so hard that he loses both his legs and an arm. A mob of people revive Denji by giving him blood. They beg him to finish off the gun fiend, as a reluctant Denji is forced to attack Aki, now charging in with his chainsaws. In Aki's imagination, Denji starts hurling snowballs in return, and despite Aki's excitement about all this, he immediately becomes aware of Denji's tears. Even after being possessed by the farthest thing from a human, Aki still retained his humanity. He hates seeing Denji cry and immediately concedes defeat in an attempt to stop all this. When he turns round, he sees that his younger brother has taken Denji's place, telling us that the inevitable had happened. Denji had killed the gun fiend, and Aki Hayakawa was now officially dead. Aki is seen playing catch with his younger brother, hopefully in a better place now where he can find true happiness. It's ironic that the only time Aki could finally find peace and happiness from his heart is when he was playing with Denji on death's doorstep. After his resolve to protect Denji in Power, he couldn't even express his feelings to them. At least he went out thinking he was playing with Denji though, right? I mean, the world never deserved Aki anyway. It's clear the Gun Devil's impact in the story is overwhelming to say the least, but even though Denji managed to kill the Gun Fiend, for now, its story is still far from over. Both China and Russia still retain their shares of the Gun Devil's parts, so there is a high chance that the Gun Devil will make a return in Part 2. But until that happens, make sure you watch our video on the depressing reality of Denji on your screen right now to see just how Aki's death impacted his life.